Okay.
Okay, we are live here at Gold Coast Startup Weekend. It's Gold Coast, right, Macca?
Yeah,
that's where we are. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're pretty sure? And we're here with this cool-looking dude in the middle here with the hot sunnies on.
Yeah.
Mr. Valentine. So we're here with Sean Braybrook, and Sean Braybrook is from Study Gold Coast. Study Gold Coast are the major supporting sponsor, and they're doing some amazing work with the schools and universities, and Startup Weekend is just one of those things that you're doing. Is that right, Sean?
Correct. We're lucky enough to support a fantastic initiative such as Startup Weekend and get behind it. We recognise that this is a really important initiative that we need to be supporting, grow the community on the Gold Coast, and that these are future entrepreneurs and hopefully going to be driving the Gold Coast economy in years to come.
Thanks, Macca. Keep the mic going. So that's fantastic. I'm just struggling with my earpiece here.
That's okay.
I got to be able to hear you, so maybe we just top that up a little bit. There we go. So that's a bit better. Now, you've just walked into the room today. I know you were here on Friday night, and as you walked in, there was a young team. The guys, they're on our page. We did an interview with them. What was the team's name, Macca, that you interviewed the other night? Do you remember?
Yetiware?
Yetiware, that's the ones. 12-year-old pitched the original idea, and now they've got together, and you just saw what they've done.
I'm absolutely blown away, and it's just so exciting seeing this calibre of ideas, of talent, of people right here on the Gold Coast producing amazing work in less than 48 hours. I was absolutely stunned, and it's just so exciting seeing that this is all happening, that the universities are doing a great job in supporting it, that the secondary schools recognise that this is, a major thing they need to be involved with, and that the talent, what I just saw was amazing. To see that at 12 years old, producing something of that high calibre and quality was incredible. And the fact that the two, older students were part of it and were allowing him the space to really grow over the course of a weekend, it's just amazing.
So you got to make sure that you watch. We're going to be crossing live from around 6 o'clock tonight. We're going to be showing all of the final pitches live here on Beach City Life, and you'll get to see Yetiware. So these guys have built an entire app, right? A working app since pitching the idea originally on Friday night. Worked through the night, Saturday, and now today they just showed us a preview of it. Basically, I'd say I've been in software for a long time. I'd say it's even beyond the prototype stage, right? It's like amazing.
They've got payment systems in place ready. Like they came and asked us to pay for this.
But I like the chutzpah on the little guys. Straight away, just asking for money. So you need to respect that. They're out there giving it a crack.
So the guys come up and asked us if they could have a couple of minutes with us to ask us a few questions, and I said, so what's the question? We talked around a little bit and we said, what's the question? And they said, actually, we want you to give us some money, and if you give us some money, we'll give you one of our products. So they're hustling and they're already selling their product, which is just phenomenal. That is just absolutely amazing. So we've been sitting here talking about that stuff, Sean, but I just want to ask you, so can you tell us a little bit about your background and sort of how you became involved and why you're here this weekend? I know from Study Gold Coast, but other than that, from a personal perspective.
From a personal perspective, well, firstly, I just want to say, that Study Gold Coast as an organisation, as I stated before, really recognise that this is so important, and we wanted to get behind it as a key component of our employability program. So our CEO is really, big on basically growing the city's economy, and in particular looking at the knowledge economy, and it's really kind of ensured that the organisation is supporting it because we see it as critical for the education sector. On a personal note, it's just, I love this stuff. I absolutely love it. I love seeing, the energy in this room, the enthusiasm, and more importantly, I recognise that this is where the Gold Coast as a city really needs to be playing. That the small to medium enterprises they hopefully go out and create after today are going to be future major employers for us. That this is where the world is heading, and that we need to really be supporting these things as a city and as a community to ensure that our city can play in the 21st century knowledge economy.
And so I think that innovation. We talk about innovation a lot, and it's a pretty. We've been talking about this with everybody on the weekend, but it's a pretty loaded and sometimes confusing term as to what it means, right? What does innovation mean to you?
New ideas, fresh thinking, ability to think on your feet, ability to transform an idea into reality. That's innovation, and I think we get so. The challenge is we get so wedded with the tech behind it, we actually forget that it's just starting a new business. Right. And weekends such as this provide people methodology, the ability and the know-how to actually go and do that. And, it's just about looking at ways and new ideas and fresh ideas to bring something to life. Tech's a component, but there's other elements to it as well, which are just as important.
That's great. So you've explained your view on innovation.
Yep.
How do you think Startup Weekend plays into the city ecosystem? Like, why is it so important?
From what I've seen, it brings everyone together. It's a catalyst. I think that if we all work together as a city, we're going to achieve a lot more, and weekends such as this should grow the community, and it makes it front of mind, and I think that's the most important thing. And I'll go back to, the things around business leaders, educators. They need to see why this is so important and why we need to grow events such as this, because as I said, these hopefully will be the business owners of the future who are actually going to keep people employed on the Gold Coast.
That's great. And building an entrepreneurial family, basically, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
There's a nice little soundbite for you.
So one of the things that that you just touched on then is, my vintage. I've been around for a while, right? We didn't have startups, and we didn't have lean, and we didn't have MVP. We just started businesses. It was just about starting a business. And I think that it's great that the emphasis is on technology, and that is true, certainly where we're heading in the future. But it doesn't have to be technology, right? It could be any business.
100%. And I think the most important thing is demystifying it, and I think we've got so caught up in that technology and being the next Google and the next Apple that we've actually need to almost strip it back again. It's just starting a business with a new idea and looking at different ways of service delivery, product delivery or product distribution, or even a new product itself, and bringing it to the consumer and understanding what the consumer needs. And that's the one thing I think this weekend teaches you, from what I've seen, is that you can have the best product in the world, but if it's not responding to a consumer problem, it won't go anywhere. And that's what we really need to be focusing on.
But it also could be an existing idea or an existing business out there, and a better way of doing that.
Oh, 100%. And that was my last point, should be my last point, that it's all about understanding your, unique selling point, your USP. There's a bit of a cliche for us all.
Yeah.
And really looking at what we can do to, get the word out there around your product.
Awesome. So should or can more businesses, small business or medium enterprises, local governments, through big corporations, did I say this right?
No, you don't have to read it out.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really interesting question. I guess what we're saying is that people, I think there's a tendency for people to think that it's all for young people and it's all just startup and all the buzz around startup and everything else. But if we strip all that back, as to your point, I think you're spot on. It's actually about just creating business and learning how to create a business, and then working together collaboratively to come up with ideas and solve problems. And for me, the essence of it is about critical thinking and problem solving. That's what it is. It's problem solving and critical thinking. So if that's the case, should and can more small and medium businesses, corporates, governments, local governments on the coast and anywhere in Australia for that matter, get involved in startup weekends like this?
Yeah, I think it's making them understand what they'll get out of this as well. And I think the most important thing is, and up until recently, I wasn't aware that this existed as a kind of weekend. Like, it was, not front of mind even for me. And to learn about this and to see it firsthand is absolutely incredible. And seeing what these kids are getting out of today, and everyone in the room, the mentors and all of that, it's just, it's putting me in a great mood, because it sees what this city's potential actually is. And so getting back to the point, I think it's just getting the word out there is the single most important thing. People don't know what they don't know, and I think taking away the point away from tech and making it just as much about business, I think we'll get more people involved and hopefully get them along and see it firsthand.
So just on that point, how important do you think it is then the role that guys like us at Beach City play in that?
you know, it's really important that obviously, you know, yourselves and other people within the community take the lead and really drive this, because, you know, if you've got to get the word out there and get businesses involved. And even from a mentoring standpoint, which is really important too.
Well, mentors are critical. There's no doubt about that. We've got to pay it forward, right? We've been there. The people that have been there, done that, had a little bit of success, had lots of failures along the way as well. They need to pay back and give it back, and this is a great way to do that. Final two questions. Beach City being our theme.
Yep. So, what's your favourite city and what's your favourite beach? Can be global.
Barcelona.
Barcelona's had a few this weekend. Yeah. Okay.
Mate, sitting there on a very sunny Saturday afternoon with a cerveza and just enjoying it is one of the best places on earth to be.
Sweet. So, what about the city?
Barcelona and Barcelona, the main city beach right there.
So, but beach and city, Barcelona.
I love it. You know.
Right.
Look, the Gold Coast is undoubtedly the best beaches on earth.
Yeah,
but
we know, but you know, this is global, right? We're a global operation here, so we don't have to focus on the Gold Coast. But that's really cool, Sean. Thanks very much for your support from Study Gold Coast, from everybody in the room, and particularly from the Gold Coast City Council. It couldn't happen without people like you guys supporting it. So thanks for that, and for that we give you a big shucker. So give us a shucker to finish off.
Shucker.
Sweet.
Thanks, man.
No worries.